Recognize that our own selves, our own relationships, our abilities, whatever we could produce in our soul is bankrupt. It doesn't have what it takes to be joyful. You can't find the capital J joy in your own souls or in your ministry or your business. Those are all secondary. They're real, but they're not the main deal. In fact, they so pale in comparison to the worth of Jesus himself, his presence, that you can literally live open-handed with a free spirit, not clinging to anything in terms of riches, possessions, houses, even relationships with other people. It's like Henry Nouwen said. He said, you got to die to your neighbor if you're going to love your neighbor. I think that's incredible, because when you're clinging to your neighbor, trying to get something out of them, or your friend, or even your spouse, trying to get something out of them to satisfy the deepest cravings of your heart, you'll get frustrated at them, and they'll get frustrated at you because they can't do it. It's impossible. They can't satisfy you. And those that are poor in spirit are those that are going, I have nothing apart from the worth and the joy of Christ himself. He's the one that gives the joy to every other one of these elements that are real joys, but they're secondary joys. Those that are poor in spirit, they don't cling to their life, their reputation, their agenda, their definitions of success. They live with an open, free heart. Can you imagine living with a free spirit? That, you know, you're working hard, you've got to love your wife, your children, and there's great joy in all of that. Jesus is in the middle of all of it. So it's not this narcissistic, negative, destructive thing. Obviously, that's not God's heart. But there's like this sense where you're living with a free spirit. Your heart, your identity is not in the externals in a primary way. Your identity is rooted. And when we go to these tents, what we're declaring to America, to the world, is that Jesus is capital J joy, happiness. He's quintessential happiness. He's the definition of everything good. Those that are poor in spirit are going, everything that I have is Jesus. And we have to recover this. We get to recover this in all of these tent gatherings and in our lifestyle. That's why prayer and worship are right in the middle of how God's going to do all this in his heart on the earth. Because it's a people that are clinging, they're cleaving to Jesus, they're connected to him, they're finding their life in him. It's the conversation and interaction with him where they find their primary joy in life. And that's an intense statement. Primary joy in life. Just asking the question, is your interaction with Jesus your primary joy in your life? It can be. If you feel like it's not, then start asking him to make it your primary joy. Go, God, I'm not even poor in spirit right now. I'm finding my primary joy in all these secondary things, where if something rocks and my business starts suffering, or my church isn't going that well, or the money starts to not be what I need it to be, I lose all sense of joy. And he's going, no, I'm calling you in America, this group, these people that are going to walk across America, and they're going to birth a flame of his personal presence. They're going to carry that presence of Jesus into the highways, the byways, the upper class, the lower class, every ethnicity, inner cities, suburbanites, all across the board. Man, those are the people that have touched poverty of spirit. They're men and women that have found their life in Christ. Now, nobody's got it perfectly, but I'm telling you, there's an invitation from Jesus with his eyes of fire, trained upon a generation, and he's going, I want you to find me. I want you to find the pearl that's hidden of great price. I want you to find the treasure that's hidden in a field. And I want tent gatherings and outreaches and moments and expressions to be the overflow of an expression of that treasure, that wisdom that just confounds the wisdom of the wise, where we become a dwelling place for him. See, that's what Jesus is saying. He goes, when you're poor in spirit, theirs is the kingdom of heaven. They're the ones that get the riches. They're the ones that they don't even possess their life. I'm asking you, I'm asking me, do you possess your life? Do you possess your money? Do you possess your family? Are you clinging to it for your core identity? Dietrich Bonhoeffer says, those that are poor in spirit possess nothing. Not even their own life. My life's not my own. And do you realize how freeing it is to not have your life anymore? Your life's in the hands of Jesus. You're not being unwise, obviously, but your life is free. You're totally free from everything. So, and then you're free to love. And you're free to, and so this is what we want to carry all across America. We want to say with music, sounds, creativity, a real sound of freedom. The real sound of freedom. The freedom from sin, the freedom from self-hatred, the whole deal. So that's what we're doing. I want to just say one more time, man, sign up. Join us. I'm appealing to you not because it's just what we're doing. I just think Jesus is doing something real, and we want to do it together with people all across America. So sign up. Get on awakenthedawn.org. Sign up to be part of Tent America. You will hear from us. We're still putting some leadership teams together in states, but you will hear from us, and we'll get you connected, and it's going to be awesome. So anyway, love you guys. It was longer than I meant to go. So we'll see you next week, 5 o'clock, Facebook Live, YouTube, whatever. Love you guys.